Well, hello everybody out there in New Land. This is Chris from HHNLegacy.com with another exciting episode of Topher's Log. We are not here to talk about announcements. We are not here to talk about Horror Nights, the event specifically. This is going to be a thank you video. If you cannot tell by the sound of my voice, I sound and feel a whole lot better. I am slowly emerging from COVID jail. I have, I've been stricken with the COVID for the past 10 days or so, 11 days or so. I'm pretty much over it, or I should say I am over it. But I'm still being a little bit extra cautious, just in case with things. So I'm staying out of the park for a little bit longer. But June 21st, 2012 is when I hit the button on the website. So I'm here just to say thank you to everybody who has followed me over the years, to people who have supported me through the thick and thin of it. Obviously, the last couple years have been rough, and the last year or so for me, specifically the last couple of months, have been very, very, very rough for me. Those of you who have followed me and do follow me pretty closely know that I've been dealing with a lot of personal issues. And the last, I did turn 40 this past May too, and I have alluded to and joked about that since I have turned 40. I do not like how my 40s have started. It's not how I envisioned my 40s. My 40s to go, especially the last, like I said, almost 2 weeks now, a week and a half really, that I've been dealing with the COVID jail. Been in, contracted COVID. It's been a whirlwind of a week and a half. But again, I just wanted to say thank you, and especially for sticking with me during this current time of mine, where I am going through some personal issues, and I'm not putting out as much content as I normally do, or at the frequent rate that I normally do, with all these personal issues that I'm dealing with. I do not plan on going anywhere, despite what some people probably want me to do. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. I'm going to stick through it, and get back to hopefully, more solid things as we move forward. But as a treat, for the 10th anniversary, what I did was I went back and I found the very first on-camera video that I did for Halloween Horror Nights. First, My Talking Head. I during my COVID jail, I actually went back and I watched some of my old My Talking Head videos. Still the same awkward person. Things might look and sound a little bit differently, but I am still the same awkward person. Very, very fun. But so I'm going to re-upload that very first video so you can listen to me ramble on even worse than what I do now. So again, thank you everybody who has followed me for the last 10 years. We're going to keep trudging on, and just thank you. Thank you for sticking with me. Talk to you guys later. Okay, hello everybody. Before I get started, introductions are probably in order. My name is Chris. I run and have just created, as a matter of fact, the site's only about a week and a half old. I created a website called HHNLegacy.com. Basically, it is a fan site devoted to Halloween Horror Nights and general Universal news as well, but the site is devoted strictly almost to Halloween Horror Nights. Doing blogs and updating on news and just having fun with Halloween Horror Nights, showing off my fandom for Halloween Horror Nights and sharing it with the world. I apologize if I seem I'm usually the guy behind the camera. I usually don't get in front of the cameras, but I thought it'd be much more fun to do sort of news and general updates about the event on camera. Make it a little bit more interesting and fun, and you could always sort of just put a face to whoever's writing the blogs and doing the news and stuff. So now that's out of the way. HHNLegacy.com. Don't want to plug the site too much because I don't want to seem like I'm pandering, but it's there. And forgive me, my cat is about to jump on my lap here. So if you see my cats come into the shot, I apologize. I have two sitting in front of me right now. They're probably wondering what the hell I'm doing. As you guys watching this are probably saying the same thing, but what am I doing? My really curious one is just like, if you can see her face right now, she's, no. So yeah, so Chris, legacy.com, HHN Legacy.com, HHN Legacy site, all our stuff. So this first blog, I just wanted to sort of give a general update about the event, where we're at, the news that we've gotten so far, what we know, things like that. And I'll get into some of the little things a bit later, but first and foremost, let's talk about what we know. New information that was released last week by Universal and the powers that be. We know of two houses so far, or themes for the event. Walking Dead, or The Walking Dead. Let's use proper English, I guess. The Walking Dead, which is a show for all you guys that don't know out there, on AMC that deals with zombies. It's also based on a comic book. The TV series is based on a comic book of the same name, The Walking Dead. And basically it follows a group of survivors during a zombie apocalypse. Or zompocalypse, depending on which side of the nerd fence you're on. A lot of people like to call it a zompocalypse, other people like to just call it an apocalypse. But it doesn't really matter anyway. I mean, it's all about zombies eating people. It's all the same. Zombie apocalypse, zompocalypse, zombies are still going to eat you regardless, right? So we got Walking Dead for both Hollywood and Orlando. So they're going to be, have houses in both on both coasts for the Walking Dead, which I know a lot of people are excited about. I like the show, but I'm not like ooh yes, Walking Dead, become a zombie myself. I'm not like that, but it's cool, zombies, whatever, Walking Dead. So congratulations to the Walking Dead fans out there. The next house that we know of is Silent Hill. We're getting a house once again in both Hollywood and Orlando that deals with Silent Hill. Now, Silent Hill, for those of you that don't know out there, it started as a video game. This would actually be the first time that Universal for Halloween Horror Nights has made a house or scare zone or whatever based off where it's got its origins in the video game realm. The maze itself, I'm not really sure. Like, I'm still confused on if it's going to be dedicated to the new movie coming out, the follow-up to the original film, or the video game. I think I'm not really sure, but I think there are 4 or 5 Silent Hill games. There's a new one coming out, or has come out. I never really played too much Silent Hill, so I don't really know that much about it. I played a long time ago, way back when. I did play the first one, I think, but I think it was the first one. Was that the first one or second one? But I don't know too much about the whole Silent Hill franchise. It is a pretty cool franchise. I didn't like the movie, and honestly, I didn't even know they were making another movie until Comic-Con. So I was like, oh, that's cool, because that's where they announced the house at the Silent Hill Revelations 3D panel. They made the big announcement there. So I still don't know. I'm still confused on whether or not the house is going to be based on the video games, or if it's going to be based more on the movie or movies. That I don't know. But that so far is basically all we know about Horror Nights to this point. Now on Friday, Universal said that they were going to release details about another house. Once again, being part of something else, being part of an existing property, an IP. So we know that the next house will also be part of an existing IP. So it will not be a totally designed concept from the great people at A&D. But that, for some strange reason, I don't know if this has something to do with the events that transpired in Colorado on Friday or not, but they did not release details on the house on Friday, and they changed their statement a little bit from their initial Twitter and Facebook post to having an announcement on Friday, to basically having an announcement at the end of last week. And here we are on Monday, and we still haven't gotten an announcement. I've been, practically glued to Twitter and Facebook, waiting for their announcement. Looking the site and stuff like that, but I haven't really seen any new information. I did see last night they were, I think it was the Hollywood Twitter page, the HHN Hollywood people were dropping hints and clues about what the house was, where they got their inspirations from, and stuff like that, to try to tease or see if people can guess what it is, which is always a bad thing, because you're probably always going to be wrong. But I did hear something about the video. I like with the Walking Dead and Silent Hill, they had the video where they announced the video announcement for the houses. I think they're having some issues putting the video together. So once that video is, at least that's what I gathered from the tweets and stuff. So I'm assuming that that's what the holdup is, but we should be getting another announcement for the house for the next house announcement very, very shortly. But until that comes, it is what it is. As far as like news goes, general news, that's pretty much it. We really haven't. We're still a little bit early. In past times, stuff like the site going live and things of that nature usually happen in the early August part, late August part. So we're still a little too early for them to reveal too much more information. My thinking is that once they announce whatever this other house is, their other house design, the next big thing will be the total reveal on the website about what the themes are and stuff like that this year and whatnot. But not too much more news. I did want to talk about, before I stop, I did want to talk a little bit about things that I'm hearing, rumblings and things that I am, which reminds me, there was a rampant rumor that came off, that people were talking about all last week, or at the early part of last week, and I know this sort of extends back a couple of months when the event was, nobody knew anything about the event yet. There was all sorts of rumors about them putting it in both parks and stuff like that, but last week a rampant rumor popped up online about Universal changing at the last minute their plans to have it strictly at Universal Studios and basically have it in both parks. And that the reason for this was because of the construction, all the rampant construction going on out at Universal. But I don't think, first of all, it's not true. I'm 99.99999% certain that rumor is completely and utterly false. But even if they were considering this, I don't think that Universal, it really wouldn't matter anyway. If anybody's been down there, yes, there's a lot of construction going on, especially the sudden demolition of Soundstage 44. But when they were planning the event, there was no, the only part of construction they had was over by the Jaws area of the park, and now you've got the Soundstage 44 mystery going on with the sudden demolition of that building. But if you've been down there, I don't think the event would really be affected by the construction going on at Universal. I try to get down there once a week, and on the Legacy Twitter page, I usually do like photo updates, like hey, look at this. But and I was there last Thursday, and I sort of was thinking about this in the back of my head, and I was like, you know what, none of this stuff is going to affect Horror Nights at all. Especially over the area over by Jaws, the construction zone over by Jaws, actually, the way they have the construction walls and stuff set up, and the way the construction is all around the park with Soundstage 44 and the Jaws area, actually they've sort of almost circleized. You have to go around now. If you're familiar with the geography of Universal, you have to go back by the Jaws area. You can't go right over that little bridge anymore. You have to go around past Fear Factor and Men in Black. You can go to the bridge at that point, but you cannot go across the bridge anymore from Amity over to where the Simpsons is. You kind of have to go around that little white bathroom structure to do it now. And the former Soundstage 44 site, the way they have that cordoned off, you can't cross that little street that was in front of the lagoon anymore and go across to New York, where you could have gone left up towards Twister and the Central Park area, or that little side street to go into New York. You can't do that from there anymore. Now you have to go. You can go. The construction walls have basically taken over that street that was in front of the lagoon and have come all the way up to the sidewalk. And you can walk. The sidewalk is still open, and you can walk towards that way. But now you're forced to go right towards where that statue is and the Starbucks and stuff, or you can go down little Sting Alley. But you're kind of forced to go right towards the Beetlejuice thing, and you have to go around and whatnot. So they've kind of, there's still little places that you can do it, but instead of, going across the bridge and doing this way and going this way and going this way, they've kind of, made it a little bit more of a circular pattern. So it could actually work more beneficially for Halloween Horror Nights because there's not too many places anymore, in those areas anyway, to go this way and that way. I mean, you're kind of forced to go one way. So it could actually be beneficial to the event. But what I wanted to talk about was some of the, I want to say like anger. There's not really anger going on, but like there's concerns. Some people have concerns about how Horror Nights is actually transpiring this year. What is going on? What is occurring? And how it how the event is being put on, basically. One of the biggest things that I keep hearing. Let me backtrack here for a minute. I don't. I've been a fan of Horror Nights for a long time, but I don't visit the forums. I don't visit. I know there's a couple of sites out there, but I don't visit. Rumors or anything like that. HHN Rumors, I think it is. I don't visit those forums very often. I'm not on any of those forums. I just don't like to post in forums. I would much prefer to talk, like I'm talking now. But I don't really, post in the forums. I do occasionally will visit the forums to sort of see what people are talking about and sort of get a gauge of what the conversation is about the year's event and stuff like that. But I don't post in the forum. So if you are from one of those forums and you've sort of stumbled upon my video here or the site, you might be wondering, who is this guy on this and this? I'm not there. So don't go looking for me because I'm not there. But like I was saying, I do occasionally look and see what people are talking about, what their what their gauge is for what's going on. And one of the things that I keep hearing is that people are very upset that Universal or Halloween Horror Nights is using existing material to do the event this year. That they're upset because the great people at A&D are not developing original concepts for houses and scare zones and things like that. This angers a lot of people. People are, not happy about that, and that sort of ties into the other thing where people are upset that there probably will not be an icon for the event this year. It'll be more of a overarching theme, probably. There won't be a face for the event. So like last year we had Lady Luck, and the others before that. But this year there won't be a presiding entity over the event. And personally, I don't know how that really sort of affects the event. Horror Nights survived for 9 years without an icon. And it did just fine. So I don't think an icon or a presiding face for the event is really going to make or break it. Uh, you know, because there is no icon. What will make or break it is the quality, not necessarily that there is no icon or no face for the event. So I don't. That's my personal feeling about it. I know it's been a. I do know it has been sort of a little debate going on about that, but I don't really personally see how that is going to affect the event in any way, shape, or form. It might not be as immersive as having an icon for the event, but I don't think that it's really going to make a difference whether or not there's an icon or not. So the other thing about the IP situation, people that are angry about there not being any real original concepts for Halloween Horror Nights this year, I don't think that really makes a difference either. Because when you have a concept like The Walking Dead or Silent Hill or whatever this other concept is, and you take those ideas and you give them to the really good people at A&D, and they can do, these guys are talented. They can do, they can make something truly special out of a Walking Dead house or a Silent Hill house. That's their job. So, and even though they didn't come up with the idea of The Walking Dead, they still have to design and create and build the house. So, it it's not a bad thing. Some people, it's like I mean, they're fans just like I am, so I can see where they're coming from because they like what the A&D people do, especially when they do it right and really good. But it doesn't really, The Walking Dead and like I was saying before, and Silent Hill are two great concepts that if you give them to the A&D people and they have to still create all that stuff. They still have to create a house. They still have to create a scare zone, whatever they're doing with their houses at this point. But they still have to create everything for it. So they can do something truly special with an existing property. I am one. I don't think it's not going to happen, but way before all this stuff was even a thought of, there were some rumblings about them doing an all IP year this year, stuff that was based on existing material. And I got really excited when there was a rampant rumor that ran around about there being an American Werewolf in London house there this year. Now that's not going to happen, but it was one of those rumors that was floating around a couple months ago, and I got excited. I love America. It's one of my favorite movies. I was like, all right, cool. Let's do that. They can really do something cool there. So um, yeah, I don't think it's that bad of it's all about the quality. If it's not about the icon, it's not about uh, you know whether the properties exist or not. It's about the quality. It's about they have to deliver on that now. And actually that's a burden on them because The Walking Dead is a huge phenomenon right now. And it's going to be in both Hollywood and Orlando. So they have to, they got some big shoes to fill at this point with like The Walking Dead and Silent Hill, which is a hugely popular video game series. That series has a rabid fan base. If you go to any comic book convention, any type of whether it's MegaCon or Comic Con or Dragon Con, whatever, more times than not, you'll find a Pyramid Head guy walking around in cosplay. So I mean, it's a huge fan base for that video game. So they got some shoes to fill to try to fulfill those expectations because those properties do exist. So it is a burden on them as well because now they have to deliver the quality and uh, the level of fulfillment for fans. But let's just play nice. Everyone just play nice, please. Because because it's been quite funny. I've seen some interesting comments about things. And it almost sometimes makes me want to sign up for one of the forums and start putting my 2 cents in. But like, we're all fans, and people have different, very staunch opinions about certain things, especially when it comes to Halloween Horror Nights. But it is what it is. I mean, it's no different than the rabid Batman fans who are kind of angry at Christopher Nolan at this point for what he did with the Batman character. So it is what it is. I mean, fans are fans. Fandom is what it is. So, and I think there's also some people have some issue with the fact that I could be wrong on this, but I think the whole design element for this year's Horror Nights is actually coming out of Hollywood this year. It's not coming out of Orlando. I could be totally wrong on this, but I think all that stuff is coming out of the powers that be over in Hollywood and not here, which is why we're probably going to have a mirrored event where you're going to see the same thing on both coasts. I don't think that Hollywood's going to get all the houses that Orlando's going to get. I think Orlando might have one or two different houses. But we're basically going to see a mirrored event this year. So the Hollywood people are going to have the Hollywood Horror Night fans are going to have the same thing as us Orlando people are going to have, which is good for them because they always get the same damn house every year, just upped a little bit. But yeah, so it's I think some people are a little bit upset about that because they don't want that sort of Hollywoodized version of Horror Nights. But we've had it in the past, ripped from a silver screen, that type of thing. So, it is what it is. That doesn't really bother me that much either. As long as the event is good in quality, as long as they keep doing what they're doing in terms of the quality, then I have no problem with whatever they want to do, as long as they do it good, because that's what they get paid for, and that's why we paid the $90 to get into the event. Some of us multiple times, but as long as the quality is fine, that other stuff really doesn't affect me. But so that's about it for this. I just wanted to sort of give you a brief introduction of myself and the site, give you a little bit of a general update on what's going on out there for Horror Nights. I think we're 59 days away from the actual opening night, so we're getting close. So I just wanted to, do this really quick. I probably talked for like 20 minutes, but this really quick introductory blog. I'm gonna try to do these at least once a week to sort of give an update on news and what's going on. You can follow at HHN Legacy on Twitter if you want to see my photo updates every week. I'm gonna try to get down there at least once a week to sort of keep tabs on all the construction going on and Horror Nights construction. You can also visit the site hhnlegacy.com, or you can visit facebook.com/hhnlegacy. But I'm gonna do sort of specialized series as well. I'm working on one now called Reflections of Fear, which I'll sort of recount my experiences at Horror Nights from the years that I went, and try to remember as much as I can. Honestly, when I decided I was going to do that, I realized that a lot of my memories are a little fuzzy or they're melded together, and it's a little bit hard to sort out what's what. So I have to go back into the deep recesses of my mind to sort of pull those memories out. So I hope that I can get that done. So that should be up pretty soon. But these general updates will be about once a week, I think, or at least I hope. If not, you could always catch the Twitter or Facebook, or just look at the site. The site's very small, so don't. Just me running the damn thing. So like it can get a little bit hard for me to do all that stuff at once. But I'm gonna hang in there and do it. But until next time, everybody behave and be excellent to one another.